Okay, guys, we're live on the moon, and I got Mike on the speakerphone. We're doing this, doing a tandem deal here. Mike's got.
We're exploring.
Say again, Mike.
I said we're exploring the moon. It's like we're looking out the window of our spaceship.
That's right. I think we're looking at the same thing. Mike has the identical telescope that I do. It's a Celestron Nexstar 8 SE. We got identical computers. We got identical everything. We're clones. We're using the same camera, and we're using the same version of the software, so we're pretty much identical. And right now we should be sitting on the top side of the moon, which is on our screen is north, is actually up, but if you're looking at the moon, it's the bottom of the moon. What do you see, Mike?
Well, I'm seeing some pretty deep craters, and I got some. The thing that I still have. Every time I see it, I just wonder: is how come when you have a crater from a meteorite that hits the Earth, how come that crater is a big hole around? But when you look at these moon craters, every time I look at one of them, you can see a definitive. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have a definitive bump right in the middle of them. You know, like it's a dome in the middle of the crater. I have to be honest with you, that's just one of the strangest things that I see consistently on the moon. And you can definitely tell because the way the shadows are, you can tell it's up, not down. It's just odd, you know? I just don't understand. That's one thing that, I don't understand personally. Is why we have that one particular item.
Well, I have no doubt at all in my mind that that is a moon base. That's something to do with the whoever's up there. And you're right. I'm looking at. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a whole bunch of craters, but there's one that has a little bump. I was watching Henning. Henning did a video today, and he was exploring those real close-up pictures of the moon. And it seems like every time there was a bump in a crater like that, there were little caves and everything around where they could hide. I don't know. I don't think it's natural.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you got some of the craters there that you can see distinctly, have, other craters inside of the craters, you know?
Hey, Mike, did you watch that video I did of the mushroom forest today?
Yeah, I did, I sure did. That
Now,
was pretty cool.
if you look right at the top side, if you're at the top side of the moon, if you look on the kind of like at the top of the circumference, there's one kind of thing up in the air. It's kind of like has a stem, and to the left of that, there's kind of like a stem thing with a kind of a platform thing. I think that's my mushroom forest. I don't know what it is, but there's there's something that's sticking up in the air. Do you see those two items?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I really don't know what they are, but they're just unusual, and they're like you can see on that one on the left there that is clearly sticking up way up in the air,
Yeah, it is.
and then it has something that goes out.
You can definitely see a lot of that more detail on the days that we look at it when we're observing everything, when it's first coming up and you catch it on the edges, when it's first coming in a line, and you just catch the dark, the edge of it. You can really see the shadows and pick up a lot of detail. When it's real full and bright, it's harder actually to see the details because it's so bright.
That's right. Let's go kind of let's go left and head down on the shadow line, okay?
Uh,
What speed do you using? Using 3 or
I'm using the SkyX Professional, for
okay?
the screen, and I've got on the move option under telescope options. I got it on the move option, and I'm using what's a rate of 4x, which
Okay.
is a 1/4 of a degree movement.
Okay, I'm still using the next remote on the monitor. I was having a hard time. Let me see if I can clean this image up. You're right. When it's like this, it's so bright. Sometimes it's hard to get a really sharp, clear. Like if I turn the camera control down, I found on this, you got the on our properties, you got a video processor, amplifier, and then a camera control. If you turn the exposure down, you can dim it up with contrast control. But
Let's see here. Options.
But if you go over there and try to just mess around with the contrast and brightness, because it's so bright, it's hard to. You can also turn it down with the gamma, like that. I'm just turning the gamma down, and the guys can see it going down.
I'm trying to get to that point. That's where I found all that. Is that under options?
It's on the property control of the camera.
Under what?
Under AM cap. Did you bring up AM cap to get the
No,
camera?
I'm using debut.
Okay.
I'm using debut.
Well, then you have to bring up AM cap, that control program, and then go to options, and then you can adjust your screen there. Okay, I'm working my way down on the shadow line, and I see a lot of little craters.
Yeah, there's a lot of little craters. But the other side is many here now, which you don't see here now. The craters with the bumps in the middle, these are more just like regular craters.
I think I adjusted the focus a little bit better. I did get the focus control to work on my monitor, by the way. I'm not sure why, but it did. Okay, let's work our way down the shadow line until we see something, then maybe we can make comments on it together. I think, guys, this is kind of unusual. You get two people um, with the same telescope looking from different locations at the moon. Uh, Now, technically, that means if I see a UFO, the chances of Mike seeing a UFO are pretty high because we're looking at the same moon. Okay, now I need to. Yeah, you're right about the. As we get into a brighter moon, it just makes it more difficult to see the detail without washing out the image.
Yeah, you gotta stay real close to the edge. It's just there's not much detail otherwise. I mean, all you see is a bunch of. I got the moon filter on, and you still don't see a lot of detail. Now I came down a little bit, and I found a crater here. It's another crater. It's very significant. And again, you have that image, significant dome, bump, whatever you want to call it, at the center of that crater.
Okay, where are you at, Mike?
Well, I moved down. I'm not right on the edge. I'm kind of off a little bit. Um, there, I put it in the center of my screen, and off to the left is two larger craters. Like kind of up and left, there's two larger craters. There's a lot of little ones all around it, and there's a definite bump right in the center. This is kind of like it's not the biggest crater, but it's a little bit bigger than most of the ones around it. It looks like it's surrounded by several little ones. And there's a definite dome right smack dab in the middle of it. Looks like I'm probably about halfway down the moon. I'm not on the edge. I'm off the dark line a little bit. Back into the moon, so.
Okay, I'm up by the top. Are you down? Are you down like?
I'm down from the top, Philip.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I could be almost maybe halfway down by now.
Okay. I want to make a comment, guys. See that one crater right there? We were talking yesterday about these rims that they kind of go up, and you can see very distinctly that this crater has a rim.
Yeah, it does. You can see the shadow in
When
you
you
see where the shadow line is, and then the shadow, you know, you can tell it's a bump because the shadow's on the side. It's not another hole, it's a bump sticking out. But the shadow's different.
the shadow seems to enunciate uh, the rims of these craters, and you can see like domes. You can see the details that you they just aren't.
It's amazing. I mean, it's like in a spaceship.
Night and day.
It's like we're exploring deep space from our backyard.
From my porch. I want to say, guys, by the way, I told you I had a. Oops, see that? I got rid of the most of the screen, but you see that one little line at the bottom. I haven't been able to figure out how to get rid of that.
You know what you saw last night? You know, you saw that ghost type image go across your screen
Right.
last night? I just had one go across my screen. I just had one of those kinds of images.
Is that right? Well, I think that they're UFOs. You can prove it to yourself by just putting a pencil in front of your. It's not a bug. Put a pencil right in front of your lens, and it won't. You can't even see it. If you put your hand in front of your lens, it's an 8-inch lens. It might dim it, but you're just not seeing. That's on the moon, Mike. That is on the moon. And
it was a lot straighter and it moved real fast right in front of it.
Now I'm not. We need to kind of get together so I can see it. I wasn't. If I was looking at the same thing you were, I would have seen it probably too.
I wasn't recording at the time, so I can't bring it back.
Okay. Okay, I'm working my way down on this, and
it's the same thing you had the other night, except it was real fast. It just went right across the screen.
But yours didn't do a loop-de-loop, huh?
No, it was straight shot right across the screen.
I think that they're UFOs, whatever they are, on the moon. They're up there. And you think about the one that I had on video. It came in from the top and went down and then looped back up. Now, if you think a jet or some disturbance in our atmosphere did that, there's no way. And it certainly wasn't a bug or anything like that. It had to come from the moon. And if you watch that video I did yesterday, there were actually 3 separate UFOs on that series. I think if you go up there and just look around, you're going to see them up there.
I can't look at it again. I messed up on that one, I tell you. I don't know why I wasn't recording, but I wasn't.
Okay, now let's try to get together and stick together so we can see them together. That would be wonderful. I'm about halfway down.
No, you should see that significant crater. There's not too many craters real right close to it. You know, it's a little bit more to the inside of the moon. And it looks like it has a dimple right in the middle of it. You know, and on my screens, it's the same screen size. It's about the size of my thumbnail.
Do you know that one that I told you about? I called a giraffe.
Yeah.
I'm at the giraffe. Did you go that far down, or are you up above that?
Probably down below that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep on going down then.
I'm going to try to see how far out from the edge. I give you an idea that it's pretty far out the middle there. I'm looking at the edge now, trying to see where I'm at in relationship to the edge. See, I still ain't got to the edge. I was pretty far in the middle, pretty far to the middle of the moon. Still ain't got to the edge.
Well, then for me to find that one, you're going to have to tell me where on the edge you are, and then I'll go right.
Yeah. Trying to find the edge now.
Otherwise, I'll never find it. I figured out what my problem was, Mike. You know, if you're watching my video, how every once in a while it just jumped.
Yeah.
On this control, it's called Next Remote. It's a software Celestron provides. You have the up, down, left, right arrow buttons, but on the inside recess there are 4 buttons as well. And if you hit one of those, you go 16 times that way. So
I'm on the
I know, but you got to
And
tell me where on the outside edge you are, or I'll never find you.
I'm probably 25% down from the top.
Hmm. Okay.
I'll tell you how far where it is now. I have to go a full frame.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to the top together, okay? And let's go down together, and that way I'll follow you. I'm heading to the top. I'm heading to the top.
Alright. That's where I saw the ones of the dimples before to the top. It's not too far down to the top. It's pretty close to the top. Well, I'm towards the top center now. I got it. I'm at the top center as best I can be, I think.
I am too. So where do I go from here?
Let's just go straight down from there.
Okay, I'm going to go straight
Straight down.
down. I'm going to go straight down slow.
It's not very far from there, actually, I don't think. Let's see, I've got one frame.
Look at all those craters, guys. There's a zillion craters, and there you can see that big one. I had a big one, a big one with. Had a big. I had a big one with two big craters on the edge, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. Okay, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, see here, the big crater, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and one on the edge. The one on the edge has a dimple in it.
Right, it does. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, you look down from that, look straight down and to the left. That's what I was talking about. Just look right a little bit to the left. Down and just a little bit to the left. It's about, it's about 2/3 of the way down the screen. I got that crater at the top of my screen, and you can clearly see this crater in your screen as well.
Okay, I see a big crater with a substantial rim and a dimple in the middle.
Yeah, and then you got around it, you got like some faint craters, like circling around it, kind of on the right side of the top, around to the right.
Right.
Then on the left, it's looking down. That's what I'm talking about. You see how distinctive that is?
Well, it looks to me like.
But if you look at that really careful, Bill, it almost looks like the ground that has a gentle slope up. And then you see that smaller thing right there in the middle, and then it slopes back down, and then you have the wall of the crater. It looks like there's you see what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
It looks to me like that dimple, as it were, is a distinctive feature, and
Yeah, it's very distinctive.
and I don't think it was. I don't think it's natural at all.
I mean, but it is very distinctive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think it's a. I think it's a base of some kind. I don't.
It looks like all the. It's not like it doesn't look like a rock. I mean, it almost looks like it's too perfect to be a rock. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That was what I was looking at earlier. It's you have to
And look,
so you can see the details of it.
Mike, look around the edge. I mean, of that, you look at that crater. Now look at the craters around. You had that other one that had a dimple above it, but there are substantial craters around that do not have dimples.
That's right. They don't have it.
So that is a base. I mean, I think Henning's, at least to me, he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that these are bases.
Well, I moved down more and got it a little bit higher to the top of the screen so I could take some of the whiteness out of it. And it looks almost like it's too perfect. It doesn't look like it's. Maybe if I was living down there on the books, it looked a lot more rugged. But
Yeah, I have that crater right now at the very top of the screen with the dimple. And if you look around, if you canvas the area and you don't see any craters of substance with a dimple. You have one that's maybe directly below to the left at the 7 o'clock position. It's a smaller one.
Yeah, I'm not down there yet to see that one.
But it's.
But there's no dimples in that. That's the only one that has a dimple in the middle of it like that.
Right. Okay, well let's stick to our pan. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, I was going to move it to the outside edge a little bit so I could pick up some detail over there. Right
Okay,
from where we're at, let's go to the outside edge.
okay, I'm going to center that dimpled crater that you showed me,
I'm going to move it to the right of the screen and see if I can't see what's on the outside of that a little bit.
and now I'm going to head to the outside edge. This is live TV, guys. You're exploring the moon with Mike and Bill, with a window to the world, the other world. Now, Mike, do you see that crater that I just about to the immediate left of that dimpled crater, towards the edge? There is a double crater that looks actually rather deep.
Yeah, give me a minute, I'll get there.
I'm going to try to adjust the focus.
Yeah, there's a double crater there. Right, right next to the dimple crater, it looks like almost.
It's
And
pretty
inside
close.
of it has several craters inside of it too.
Yes. And there's a big crater right above that. I mean, a large flat crater with a substantial ridge line.
Yeah, it sure is.
And I want you to tell me what you see. I see something that's kind of strange. If you go to the right and up from that big crater, you see something that goes in an angle. It looks like a line.
Hold on a second.
I, I mean, you right above that big crater we were talking
Bill,
about. There's
Bill, wait a second. You go right to the edge. It looks like I found a cave. I think some of that too. Go all the way to the edge, right there where you're at. Just go out to the very edge. It looks like you have an arc and then like a half moon, like a little arc, and then another arc, and then another arc, and it looks like there's a big landing pad right in there.
okay. Let me adjust my. I think I see
It's
it.
on the very edge of the dark, on the edge of the moon, and it's sticking way up in the air. I mean, you can tell it's significantly higher than the edge of the moon, but it looks just like something you could fly into, you know? That's right over there, straight further over from where you're at.
Okay. Remember the double crater we were looking at? Is
Now
it
keep going.
is
Yeah,
it to
it's
the
the
left
left
of the
there.
double crater, or is it to the left of the big crater above it?
It's to the left. I have to move back over here and see where I'm at. Hang on.
I just had a UFO go across my screen, Mike. Fly north. A UFO. A spaceship, guys. You saw it. Flying north. Right over the double crater.
See, I'm to the left of the double crater, and it may be down some.
Okay, we need to try to stay together. It would be pretty cool
Yeah,
if we could.
I lost control of it for just a second there. It went way out, and it was off. It's right at the edge of the moon, Bill. It's right there at the very dark line. I mean, it could be an optical illusion the way, but I'm telling you, it looks like there's like two arcs, and then it looks like you can go inside the damn thing.
Now, if I'm looking at the double crater right now, and if you go to the immediate left of that, it looks like there is a cave right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm talking
I
about.
mean, let me see if I can work the gamma on that and turn that down. See where he's talking about, guys? Right in there. Let me turn the brightness.
And beyond it is space. There's nothing. That's the edge of the moon right now. That's the edge of the visible moon. You know, and it just may be the way the shadows look. It looks very unusual.
Yeah, when you said that was kind of the first thing I did. There was another one right above it, kind of right there. But it looks to
Yeah,
me like there is a cave there, and
yeah, it could be. I mean, it's very unusual. I'll tell you that.
if
But
you
look,
look,
you move around a little bit so I can't change the line of the camera a little bit on it.
yeah, this is not really a good night for, um,
But it's almost too bright, you know.
right. But we just have to live with what we got. Okay, let's do this. Let's continue on down.
Yeah.
Let's continue on down the shadow line, and let's try to stay together. I went down a little bit. There's a really big plane. I think they call them Mars, or
What kind of blues does
it's with two.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's two craters on the northern edge of that kind of offset each other, and then a third. And then if you look at the plane, then it looks like a lake, really, you know. And then two more craters. Okay.
Now, right to the right of that, looks like a pretty significant crater there, Bill. It has something in the center of it there. It's a big old crater.
Okay, I'm there now. At the bottom, on the left side of that large lake, that large mar, there's a really big crater with the smaller crater at the 6 o'clock position,
Yeah, that's correct.
and a substantial structure right there in the middle.
Looks like something in the middle. You're right.
I mean, I'm going to turn the contrast up. I'll tell you what the problem is with the contrast. You can bring out details with it, but if you go in the interior where it's real bright, then it starts pixelating on you.
It's got
See the
some
pixelization, guys?
structure of some sort in the center of that crater.
I turn the contrast down and the pixelization goes away. Okay,
It's just odd. Unless you have a crater inside of a crater. That could actually be a crater inside of a crater right in the center. But I can't really tell for sure.
no, I think it's a base.
Which is odd that it's right in the center. That's the problem.
Well, they all are. They just.
That's what makes it so odd. Is the fact that they're right in the center.
Now look at that, Mike. I was telling the guys yesterday on the video. You can clearly see on this crater, this big one, that the rim it actually looks like I call it the hornet nest crater because they come up out of the air.
Yeah, they do.
If you were walking up to it as a spaceman on the ground, you would see this huge mound in front of you. In other words, you would think that these craters would all be just as flat as pancakes, and then you'd go into the hole. But I think that this shows you that there's a rim.
Yeah, there's a distinctive rim all the way around it. Now, looking at the 12 o'clock, it looks like it's broke up a little bit, but
Yeah, right there.
But it looks pretty distinctive, that's for sure.
Now look to the immediate left of that crater, Mike. I see two very, very large rocks. It's probably like a mountain, you know, but to the immediate left of that crater. And then if you go up north and east, north and west of that, you have two hornet nest craters where you can see them coming out of the ground.
Yeah, they're smaller too.
Right. And then if you go north of that a little bit, you see a little itty bitty crater right on the edge of a hole.
Yeah, it looks almost perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like there's two of them, just perfect.
See, guys, this is the real stuff. He's seeing the same thing I am. He saw a UFO too, and so did I. Maybe if we stick together, we'll see the same UFO this time. Okay, let's go south. Creep down south along the edge. Oops.
Yeah, you're right. A big plane there. It looks like another plane is on the edge of the line there.
I have that kind of big crater right in the middle, and I tell you, that's a beautiful picture. You got the plains, you got those little craters pockmarking all over the place. Hey, Mike, I got the catalog from Orion today, and Orion is selling the Chinese camera
Yeah, you told me.
for $99. So now
Yeah, we bought mine in China for 58, I think.
I bought mine for 10.
Oh, Bill,
There's my giraffe
But
guys.
it looks like it's a real deep crater, you know what I'm saying? Just comes straight down. And right in the middle of the plain is a real deep crater. Looks like it's not real big. It's about the size of your little fingernail, maybe. But it's real deep. You can tell by the shadow line all that it's cast on it because it's a real deep one.
Yeah, you can. I see it. It's you can tell it's deep from the shadow. The shadow is way deep in the hole.
Yeah, it's way deep in the hole. That's a real deep one there.
And if you go to the right of that one, Mike, you can see uh, a very unusual crater. It looks like it has looks like the Orange Bowl, you know, with the seats angled out. It's got a really thick ridge, and the ridge seems to be angled into the inside of the crater.
Yeah. And there's another one of them craters on the Jacob Temple there too. I kind of wonder what this real bright spot on the moon is. I mean, it's really bright. It's like you can't see.
Oh yeah, that one right there, below that stadium crater.
Oh, that real bright spot is.
Well, I'll tell you, what I think. John Lear, uh, he had some inside poop on all this stuff, and he like from
That's a
NASA.
crater, Bill. Bill, that's a crater. When I move it around, there's a crater right there.
I know there's a crater there, but he thinks that there's lights underneath some of these craters, and they have power plants down there, and that's why some of them are really, really, really bright. You
That was really bright, that's for sure.
you can see, if we could really get in there the way they do on those photos, you can see an awful lot of bright, look like light bulbs all over the place. Um, Gosh, that's a beautiful picture. I got the deep crater on the left, upper
Yeah,
left, and then I got the bright one on the right. And it just
yeah. No,
look looks so peaceful. I mean, I've been watching my videos just to relax because it kind of eases, you know, it's just another otherworldly, as it were. Okay, let's continue to go down.
yeah, I got a big plane. Got some craters, but it's mostly a big plane.
Yeah, it's a big plane, and there's a crater right on the edge. A
Then you
big.
finally come down far enough, you can see where it starts to plump up again. Now you got the bottom edge of the moon there, and you can see some definition on it.
If you go down far enough, you run into a mountain range on the left side,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's
and
where I'm at right now.
right above that, at the edge, there's two things that stick out, and I'm not sure what they are, but they look strange.
One of these figures looks like it has almost a vertical wall sticking out on it.
That's what I was talking about yesterday. Remember I said that Roman Colosseum crater that one day?
Yeah,
It looks like you're in Rome and you're walking right up to the Roman Colosseum. You see these straight walls. There's
yeah, it's pretty
just
wild.
abs. Okay, I got a sparklies on the left here. Let me see if I can turn the brightness down. Yeah, that took care of
Yeah,
that.
we're on the bottom of the moon right now.
Okay, let me get
Across the
down there.
bottom.
I don't want to lose you because I want
Yeah, I know. I know
to.
it's low. It's real. There's a lot of brightness right now. I got the moon filter on too, and it's still got a lot of brightness going on.
Yeah, it's going to be brighter tomorrow night, I think, too.
See,
Okay,
see now, these craters, they're flat and they got no dimples in them.
okay,
One down here at the bottom.
I'm at the bottom, and it's beautiful down there, Mike. Just
Yeah, it is. Very pretty. Cool.
you can see, it just it really is beautiful. Let's go to the right from the bottom, and let's work our way up on the right side of the. I want to see if I've been seeing a structure on there that looked to me like an egg. It could have been a wrecked spaceship, and I want to see if we can see it. I want to see what you see. I'm still going down on the bottom rim.
I'm going along the bottom. I need to slow down because I'm now, it's starting to now curve back up on the right side. I'm coming up on the right side of the moon. It's starting to curve. Oh, well, it doesn't look, you can't really hardly any real good detail. Everything looks kind of, it looks like it's kind of washed out. It's hard to see a lot of detail.
Okay, well then let's do this, Mike. Let's go back on the bottom. There was a big crater uh, just above the bottom on the left side of the base. Let's go to that. Uh, you'll see it as you. If you're looking at the very bottom, it'd be to the immediate left of the bottom, and there's a large crater.
Yeah, I see it.
Let's go exactly north of that, because it looks to me like there's more detail here than will be on the right side of the moon.
Yeah, this crater's got a flat bottom on it.
Yes, nothing in the
Yeah,
middle of that one. And if you look to the right of that crater, see that mountain range there,
yeah,
and see that thing I've been calling a cut. It's not a. It's just a line that goes down through at an angle. And before we do that, let me see if I can focus this a little bit better or not. Nope, nope, nope.
that's just fun. It's like we're sitting in a spaceship, taking a cruise, looking out our window, taking a look at the lunar landscape.
Yeah, it looks really. Oops. I get it, then I try to fiddle with it, and I. Okay, I'll leave it like that. And I'll turn
Well, I've
the.
been actually pretty long with it here. Now I got 25 minutes before the bill.
What's that, Mike?
So I've made a pretty long move here. Now I got 25 minutes recorded so far.
Okay, let's head north of that crater. Slow. Together. You know what strikes me about this plane, and I commented about it earlier on a video. You see these things sticking up on the plane. They jump out at you.
Yeah,
As you're going north of that crater, you see another big one, and then to the right of that, two smaller ones. And if you look at that close enough, Mike, at least on the bottom smaller one, you can see radiating out. It's like embossed on crystal or something like that. It just looks kind of strange the way it's radiating on that plane.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, let's continue north, and you can see a little bit of color in there.
Yeah, it's just stunning.
It's it's nothing compared with what we had earlier in the month.
Well, during the month you had the shadows. Man, you see some really cool details in the shadows. It's really pretty wild.
Just north of those two craters is a ridge line that I called the spinal. Well, I call it the coughing ridge because I had a coughing fit when I was there. And there's a mountain range.
Yeah,
See that ridge? It kind of goes to the from the 4 o'clock position to the 10 o'clock position, and there's another crater there. It looks like a dome, actually.
You're right.
And then if you continue north, I'm going north pretty slow right now.
Yeah, I am too.
By the way, I tried to upgrade my with the hand control and the motor, but they were both at the current, at the right rev, so I didn't. I guess we don't need to upgrade ours.
I tell you, we're supposed to put more memory though on this computer bill. I haven't had any problems with age controls.
Yeah, guys, we both got our memory in today and upgraded to 8 gig. I have not put in the faster disk drive yet, but okay, I'm moving up, and if you moved up a little bit beyond that mar, on the right side, centered, is kind of another big crater.
Yep, I see it.
You see it?
Yep.
And there's a lot of kind of markings on the surface. I think these markings come out more whenever it gets brighter. Okay, I'm continuing to move north. Okay, I want you to look at something, Mike. Just north of that big crater, there, I mean, pretty much north of it, there's another little crater with something very high sticking out from the middle.
Yeah, I see it. That's cool, man. That looks very distinctive.
Very distinctive compared. I mean, look at all the other craters in the area.
Yeah.
And if you look to the
Well,
right,
I just don't understand how that works. How you can have something like that.
I don't think geologically it can work. I think I
So
think
how big
it's.
do you think these craters, these ones that are say about the size of your thumbnail, can we put your finger up there and you got a thumbnail size? How big across do you think that crater is?
Well, I was whenever I was watching Henning today, he was doing a close up of the moon. They had real close up pictures, and he figured that those were taken like at 15,000 feet. On these, it's I have no idea.
I was just
It's
wondering,
gonna it's gonna be in miles. I mean, it's
I mean,
100, 50 miles,
100 miles
30
wide.
miles, 30 miles. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be big, though. I mean, it's going to be a significant feature. I mean, it's going to be probably at least, what, 200, 300 miles across that crater? Maybe
I,
more.
I don't know if it's that many. What we got to
Well,
do, we get
I
us
figure
a moon atlas, and we could probably get a measurement.
all we need to do, I think all this has been figured out. All we got to do is get a moon map and look at they'll tell us everything about every one of these craters.
Right.
All these craters have real names. They
Now,
named all this stuff.
now look to the right and above that crater with the thing sticking out. You'll see another one that's got a kind of a it's kind of a line.
Yeah. Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
I got to take Sarah
Okay.
in the bunker. I've had a lot of fun exploring with you, buddy, but it's getting time for me to shut her down.
I'm going to shut it down here in a little bit too. I enjoyed it, Mike. I'm glad we got to see UFOs. Not at the same time, but we both did.
Yeah, it was such a shame I wasn't recording at the time that one went across my screen.
Well, I was recording it.
Well,
Okay.
I gotta tell you, you take care of yourself, partner.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
That was fun. It's always fun to watch the moon with Mike because it kind of substantiates what I've been looking at. I'm not looking at it. I know you're looking at it with me, but if you can get it from somebody else that's looking at the moon, it just adds a lot of flavor to the entire experience. I tell you what I want to do. I want to continue to go north here. We're almost to the edge at the top, and then and there's another crater with a point. And to conclude the survey tonight, I want to do a sweep of the outer edge from the top to the bottom on the right side. Look at all these little craters. Isn't that incredible? Did you ever think in a million years that you'd be able to watch video, live video from the moon? I know it's not live, but it's essentially live. You're watching it as I'm recording it. Look, there's our crater with the 4 craters in the middle that we see all the time. And now we're heading almost to the edge. And you can see the wavy action. The wavy action is not me bouncing the scope or doing anything. It's just atmospheric skies. Okay. And now look there. There's our mushroom forest right there and right there. Let me try to make it a little darker. Okay, that's good. Now let's go down on the right side of the moon. Oh, oh. I know exactly what I'm doing now. There's a this control has 4 little arrows. Well, in the middle of those 4 little arrows are little triangles, and I mean, if you just move the mouse just on top of one of those little triangles, it zips at 16 times the speed. So it's a really neat way to move around. I was blaming the motor. I was blaming. I mean, I was blaming everything, but it's basically operator error. It's exactly what it is, operator error. And before I move away from this picture, I wanted to try one more time to bring out some of the detail of this this one picture, which is so beautiful actually. See, if I fiddle with the gamma, see, it brings out, everything is so sensitive in video. You've got gain, you've got gamma, you've got saturation, you've got contrast, you've got brightness, you've got level, and it all affects the image you see. So you got to be really tricky. I think I'm getting better at it, but it's just an awful lot of stuff. By the way, I've mentioned before, I'm going to try to get rid of that little thing at the bottom, but if I don't, it's just the way it is. I think we're seeing a pretty good image on the screen, all said and done. Okay, let's finish this up by doing an outer circumference survey. And if you remember yesterday, I did see a loop-to-loop UFO. And when I went back and watched the video, I saw 3 of them altogether. The only one I saw on the video at the time I was making it was that one that did a substantial loop. This is a very good camera, and it is high resolution. I think that's why the Orion company uh, decided to put it in their line. And you can see these points of light, as it were. See right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. If you can get in and go down real close, there's tubes, there's structures, there's towers, incredible amount of stuff done there. I wanted to mention tonight that one of the things that I've done over the last month is went to the Jet Propulsion Labs, and well, it's actually the National Geological. I don't know that it's I think run by the Navy, and they're responsible for mapping the world. And I managed to download a program and a series of files. The raw files, I'm sure they've been. Look how bright that is, guys. Look at that. Maybe that's what John Lear was saying. There's a light down there or something. Just immensely bright. Anyhow, I've got all of the video, all the still pictures from Odyssey, from Pioneer, from there's 15 missions I think altogether, and I got them. I got it all. And so when I have eventually when I have nights where I can't see the moon, I'll probably be showing you some of that stuff. And from Mars, I mean, uh, it's the repository of information, and you have to download the program and and you got to do it all. It's all Unix based, so I had to do a little shell program, and I ended up. I have Comcast, uh, and we're restricted to 250 gigabytes. And last month, look at that, a perfect circle, a wonderful bright lights. Anyhow, I ended up downloading 130 gigabytes of imagery from JPL that is in the public. If you know how to get it, you can get it. And if you have a Unix system, you can get it. And I'll eventually be showing you tutorials on how to download it. So later on, I'll cover all the bases on it. Isn't that beautiful? I know it's bland, but there's so much detail in this picture right here. It's just unbelievably beautiful. I know you see more along the shadow line, but to me, this is just, it's hard to believe I think I saw something there. It's hard to believe you're actually over the moon. If you picture this was Earth and you're looking at the Earth, you're really getting pretty close, all things considered. And there's my famous ferret. See his two beady eyes, and see he looks pretty much, well, not exactly, but pretty much in the same position he was yesterday. Now that I've seen this tilting wobble kind of thing, I'm kind of all keyed up on making sure things don't change in perspective. Mike, I told Mike I was getting a telescope, and then Mike decided he was going to get one too. We're getting a special solar lens for the telescope that'll let us look at the sun in chrominance. And when we get it, I'll be able to do several times a day, go up to the sun and look at the CME coming off the sun. You know, the sun flares as they come off. It's a special deal. It's not a regular filter. It's a special filter, and it lets you picture it. And I'll be able to record them, and so I'll be doing videos of the sun uh, as well later on. Because I think what's coming up with what I think is the trib. I think that we're going to be involved in a lot of destruction on Earth caused by fire. That's going to be caused by these sun flares, and also there's if Ellen and Nirabu are real and they're hiding behind the sun, we're going to want to be looking at the sun. So anyhow, look at there's something right there. I don't know what that is. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And let me finish up just to the left in the shadow line where I know it's going to be a better image for you. Look at the detail. I really can't get over how beautiful it is. Pretty good telescope, pretty good camera. And that's a good place to quit and wish you clear skies, guys.